Good afternoon everyone. We hope you all are doing good. It's your friend here again with more gaming information. And today we gonna discuss about next upcoming Spider-Man game after Miles Morales, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Okay, let's go. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 now has a narrowed release window of fall 2023, which means it's going to be a little while yet before we're swinging though New York again. But with developer Insomniac Games once again at the helm, it'll no doubt be worth the wait. First announced during the 2021 PlayStation Showcase, the sequel has quickly become of the most exciting upcoming PS5 games and upcoming Marvel games on the horizon. Currently slated to release next year as one of the new games for 2023 to look forward to, Insomniac recently offered reassurance that Spidey will still be swinging his way into the slated 2023 launch window. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is set to continue the super-powered stories of Peter Parker and Miles Morales as they face off against new foes and new challenges. This one's PS5 only, meaning that there's real potential for Spider-Man 2 to push things forward graphically and technically. Not only that, but we now have a refined release window, pointing to a release sometime in the fall of next year. While there's still a lot to learn about the highly anticipated sequel to Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, we do at least have a teaser trailer to go off of. This was shown during the game's announcement and showed a powered-up Peter fighting alongside Miles. A voiceover hinted at a villain before Venom stepped out of the shadows. Given how the first game ended, there are plenty of threads that could be explored in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. As we get closer to a possible release date, we'll likely hear a lot more about the plot and about what this sequel is doing to continue the franchise. Marvel's Spider-Man 2's release date is set for fall 2023, as confirmed by PlayStation and Insomniac. This matches rumors saying the game was set to arrive then. In October 2022, Insomniac reiterated that the game is still on track for 2023 for PS5, despite not having revealed anything about the game in over a year. With the first Spider-Man game releasing in September 2018, and Spider-Man Miles Morales releasing in November 2020, we could see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 release in the same window as Sony's big holiday game. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is due to release in fall 2023 exclusively for PS5, completely skipping PS4. This was confirmed via a tweet by PlayStation. Rumors had suggested that we would be getting a release date imminently, so it was great to have it confirmed. For now, fall 2023 is the closest we have to a final date. While not confirmed, it's possible we could see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 coming to PC at a later date. We've seen Sony bringing more and more of its first-party titles to PC recently, with Marvel's Spider-Man already on the platform, and Miles Morales arrived in November. We wouldn't expect Marvel's Spider-Man 2 to be available on Steam at launch, but a PC release later down the line looks likely. The Marvel's Spider-Man 2 release window has been set for fall 2023 by Sony in a post on the PlayStation blog. That might seem like a long ways away, but Insomniac has been hella busy since it put out the first game in 2018. Not only did the studio release Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales as a PS5 launch title, which released alongside a remaster of the original game, it's also been hard at work on Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, one of the best PS5 games around right now. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is thought to have been in production for about a year, so Insomniac is giving itself plenty of time to develop a worthy sequel in 2023. Marvel's Spider-Man won't be releasing on the PS4. The new Spider-Man 2 game is a PS5 exclusive. Insomniac says that it's excited to be pushing the capabilities of the console in an adventure that will continue the journey of both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Insomniac has now shifted its focus to the PS5, following the release of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart as a platform exclusive, as it attempts to push the boundaries of third-person action-adventure games. The Marvel's Spider-Man 2 reveal trailer was shown as part of the PlayStation PS5 showcase in September 2021, it giving us our first look at Peter Parker and Miles Morales working alongside one another to clear the streets of enemies, before turning to face a villain that's hiding in the shadows revealed to be Venom, voiced by Candyman's Tony Todd. The footage was captured on PS5, establishes a 2023 release window, and yes, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It's well worth paying attention to the animations of both brawlers. You can see the difference in experience and agility, reflected in the way Peter and Miles carry themselves. It's that sort of attention to detail that we want to see carried into the final game. The trailer is only around 1.5 minutes long, but it offers us a fair amount of details. For one, we see both Peter Parker and Miles Morales taking fighting goons suggesting we may get to play as both Spider-Men this time around. At the very end, we got a surprise appearance of the infamous Spider-Man villain Venom, an outer-world symbiote with a passion for violence, so we expect he'll be one of the sequel's main villains. Unfortunately, there was no gameplay to analyze, but we briefly see a shot of Peter getting a power surge with his iron spider arms, suggesting suit powers may be making a return. We also hear an ominous voice talking over the trailer, suggesting Peter and Miles will have yet another villain to face off against. Based on their speech about looking for a challenge and formidable opponent, we'd put our money on it being Kraven the Hunter, a classic Spider-Man villain with a similar attitude towards the prey he seeks out in the comics. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is being developed by the award-winning team at Insomniac, responsible for 2018's Marvel's Spider-Man. Brian Entire will be returning as creative director, and Ryan Smith is back as game director. The duo have decades of experience between them, having worked on everything from the Resistance series through to Ratchet & Clank and Sunset Overdrive. Yuri Lowenthal and Nadji Jeter are set to reprise their roles as Peter and Miles, respectively. It looks like the creative team that helped get Spider-Man Miles Morales out the door will now be turning their attention to Insomniac's other project like Marvel's Wolverine. One Spider-Man 2 villain has been confirmed so far, and it's Venom, an iconic sparring partner, this time voiced by none other than Tony Todd, the legendary actor perhaps best known for his terrifying performance as Candyman. We do know that Venom won't be the only threat facing the Spider-Men. Insomniac has specifically referred to the villains that will try to hunt Peter and Miles down. Note the plurality. There's plenty of rogues that could come into play, the Lizard and Green Goblin being the most likely, although the reveal trailer opens with a monologue about the glory of the hunt. We may have a Kraven the Hunter Sinister Six situation on our hands here, people. With Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Insomniac says that it wants to deliver a compelling human story, one full of heart and humor, that dives deep into the people behind the mask. Across the two existing games, we've seen Peter, 8 years into his career, and Miles, still green, but shown to be more than capable of picking up the mantle, demonstrate that they can protect New York when it needs it the most. What will be interesting to see is whether both heroes are able to share the same city, or whether their ideological differences and history with villains lurking in the shadows will push them apart. The second Insomniac showed Peter Parker and Miles Morales fighting side by side in the reveal trailer. The call went out across the internet for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 co-op. It's easy to understand why players would want that functionality. Swinging around the city with a friend would be a hell of a lot of fun, but the studio has seemingly confirmed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be a single-player-only affair. In a reveal post on the PlayStation blog, Ryan Schneider, Insomniac's head of franchise strategy, used the following language: "We're so thrilled to continue the journey of both Peter Parker and Miles Morales in their most epic single-player adventure yet. Sorry, webheads, given how generous Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales were with additional content, it's good to hear that Insomniac is indeed hard at work on new suits and abilities for the sequel. What they will be remains an open question at this early stage." Ryan Schneider, Insomniac's head of franchise strategy, has teased that the trailer is merely just a glimpse at what's in store in terms of the new abilities our heroes will acquire, suits they will wear, more on that some other time, and the villains that will try to hunt them down. A PlayStation Store page for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 momentarily went live on December 12, 2022, suggesting more details on Insomniac Games' next web-slinging adventure could be shared imminently. This was eventually followed up by confirmation of a fall 2023 release window, noted by Twitter user Wario64. A dedicated listing for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 briefly went live on the PlayStation Store in the UK, allowing players to wishlist the upcoming PS5 game. Since Wario64's tweet, the page has been taken down. You can, however, still see the page listed on Google. Following this, developer Insomniac Games community director, James Stevenson, tweeted a GIF lifted from the game's official trailer, depicting the two Spider-Men Peter Parker and Miles Morales standing side by side. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 might just include some kind of co-op element, according to rumors. Following the release of Marvel's Spider-Man on PC, data miners have uncovered what looks like a scrapped multiplayer mode in the game files. Found by Twitter user Newtamp, the files seem to show co-op and multiplayer notifications, as well as some kind of PvP mode, which would pit Miles Morales and Peter Parker against one another in a competition. That's a pretty exciting thing to scrap, but Insomniac never actually announced any plans for a multiplayer mode in the first place. Now fans are naturally wondering if we could see the feature make some kind of appearance in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. The PlayStation blog post announcing the game pretty explicitly said that the sequel is a single-player experience, but the reveal trailer did lean heavily on Peter fighting alongside Miles, something which could translate well into co-op. While it doesn't feel impossible that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 could indeed launch as a single-player experience, but add a co-op element at a later date. We just can't be sure about Insomniac's plans until it officially confirms them. Brittany M. Morris, the author of the Miles Morales prequel novel, Wings of Fury, has joined Insomniac Games as a writer. Morris announced the news on Twitter, revealing that the first project she will be working on is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Morris's addition to the team is certainly welcome news. Her novel was well received, and her knowledge of the Miles Morales character is sure to be a boon to the sequel's writing. It sounds like we really are getting the darker Spider-Man game we all wanted. During an appearance on the This Week in Marvel podcast, Marvel's creative vice president Bill Roseman explained that if the first Spider-Man game was Star Wars, Spider-Man 2 is kind of our Empire Strikes Back. It gets a little darker. This certainly makes us happy here at TRG, as it hopefully means Insomniac's Spider-Man will remain its own distinct version, rather than an imitation of the more family-friendly version we're used to in the MCU. Taking to the official PlayStation blog, after the PlayStation Showcase 2021, Insomniac Games revealed that horror movie star Tony Todd, who portrays Candyman in the original film series of the same name, will voice Venom. Todd makes a perfect choice for Venom, and is sure to deliver a sinister, guttural voice that'll have us hiding behind the couch whenever Venom is on screen. His casting also backs up our hope that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 takes on a more horror-themed tone, so we're especially delighted to hear of his involvement. Speaking of voice actors, Yuri Lowenthal and Naji Jeter will reprise their roles as Peter and Miles respectively.